Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick little video here about a new product that we've just brought in with an order with JVD that's arrived. So we've been using a different brand for our training arrows, and we're going to be setting up a new club with a new training system in the new year, and we've been really struggling with existing supplier, existing brand to get accessories and get arrows. Obviously being in South Africa, it's not so easy to get equipment readily at shops and stuff, so we rely quite heavily on online shops. So the customer service has actually been quite pathetic from that side, so we started looking for some other brands, and so obviously looking on JVD's website we came across these. So this is a new brand, well, at least a new brand for us. We normally using Easton arrows almost primarily for our clients, but this is so an interesting brand. The brand is called Black Eagle Arrows. You can go see their website at blackeaglearrows.com. Go get all the information and some pricing there as well. So this is their budget entry-level carbon arrow. It's called the Intrepid. This is a 36 arrow pack box, so they sell them in 36s. I think you can get them in dozens as well, or you can get them in an even larger pack of 72 arrows. So the 36 pack box comes pre-fletched, and of course got all of the knocks in as well. The points are not put in the arrow yet. Presumably if you're wanting to cut the arrow before you put the points in, there are also break off points, so you may want to reduce the point weight before you put them in. So that's all you need to do and your arrows will be ready to go. The points are a 90 grain break off point, and I do see that on the website they suggest not using a hot melt glue, which is usually the standard way to put arrows into points into an arrow. So I'm not entirely sure what their actually recommendation is yet. I'm going to try and dig a little bit on their catalogs and on their website and see what they say. Maybe some sort of an epoxy is probably what they would suggest. So yeah, we'll take a look at that and see. Maybe I'll put it in the notes below this video. Okay, so at first glance, these arrows really look great. Nice light grain per inch arrows compared to sort of the equivalent Easton arrows. They seem to be a little bit lighter, so that's going to give you a nice fast arrow. They seem to pride themselves on straightness tolerance, so you'll even see on the box over here that it says unmatched tolerances. So I think if you read that wrong, that sounds terrible, because it sounds like all the tolerances are unmatched, but I think what they're getting at really is that there are no other brands that can match their tolerances. So they say they've got a plus minus 0.006 inch straightness tolerance on these arrows, or better is what the website says. So that's pretty good, and as far as the archery industry is concerned, that's pretty damn good. So they all come pre-fletched with the AAE Platifletch EP16 Fletches, so that's great. All 36 of them are going to be fletched in the same color, so that's not something that you can choose, unfortunately. So you'll see over here I've got another spine that's fletched in a completely different color. So all 36 arrows are going to be in that color, and they all seem to come standard with the red knock. So their knocks are very similar in design. It actually looks, at first glance, it looks exactly like an Easton G-nock. So these ones are called the M Nock ST. So ST, I think, refers to the knock groove size. So these are the small ones. So this would really be equivalent to a small groove Easton G-nock. It even has the little ridge on the side over here, exactly like an Easton G-nock, that would then align with your index fletch. So without actually looking at the fletches for a beginner, one will be able to just feel that and know which way to load the arrow in the bow. So that's pretty cool as well. So these are a 700 spine, and the other box that I've got here is a 900 spine. So when you go to the website, you'll see they do have their own spining chart. I'm not sure how close it matches to something like the Easton, which has become the standard arrow chart. So I would be careful not to just presume that it is exactly the same. So I'll definitely go and check out their chart and see how the draw length and poundage would, what it would indicate for you to be shooting. But overall, very impressed with the build quality. So I'm actually quite keen to give these a try myself and maybe put them through my bow. I am used to shooting a much higher end Easton arrow, but like I said, build quality looks great. They're really nice and light, so I'd be quite keen to try them out. And obviously, because these are your budget arrows, They are not very expensive per arrow, so really good for beginners. So like I said, we're going to be using them for a training system, so we're going to be using them on some nice light poundage club bows. I think one of the real defining factors for us was the standard stock length for the arrows. So all of the spines seem to come with a stock 32-inch stock length, so that's quite unusual for arrows. So usually what the brands do is the lower spines, the more flexible arrows, tend to come in a sort of shorter stock length, which means that if you're learning, you're shooting like a 20-pound or a 25-pound bow, you maybe have a longer draw length, you're going to be forced to shoot a much stiffer arrow. You can't just shoot the lighter ones because they're just simply too short. So that's going to be really great for us for training. It means that almost anybody is going to be able to shoot this arrow irrespective of their draw length. You don't really get arrows longer than this as a stock length. Maybe your top end Easton or some of the other brands at the really high end ones might come a little bit longer, but it is unusual. So yeah, in that regard, these are phenomenal for that. So like I said, they all do come with a red nock, but of course you can go and get the other colors. It seems like the colors seem to be again exactly like the Easton G-nock standard colors. So you've got the nice bright orange and green over here, which is going to be great for visibility, showing up on the target, and then again the standard like ruby red that seems to come with these arrows. So the only thing I also wanted to say that you need to just be careful of is because of the 36 arrow pack being like this, and I think the 72-inch pack probably comes in a box very similar to this but maybe even bigger, is that although this packaging protects the arrows really well, if you're having them shipped exactly like this, that is going to give you a much bigger box than necessary. So I think that's going to impact your shipping costs. So wherever you do end up ordering these from, I would maybe suggest speaking to the shop and asking if they can maybe remove them from the packaging and move them into a smaller tube, or even like a smaller box or something, just to try and reduce the shipping fees involved there. So really cool. I'm quite happy with them, and I think what I'll do is I'll have to set them up with the points, and I'll have to shoot them a bit, and then maybe I'll do a little bit of a video and a review after I've had some first-hand experience using them. So obviously this is one of our first reviews and first videos, so if this is something like you'd like to see more of, let us know. So obviously the biggest thing you could do right now is in terms of supporting us is just giving us a thumbs up on the video, and subscribe below. Thank you so much.